Okay, let's talk about that episode of The Good Place. Sorry that this video is late, but I had to do history homework instead of watch The Good Place, but that was well worth the wait. So it took a little bit for me to actually get into the episode because it started off with Tahani and Jason stuff, which I'm fine with. It's just so normal sitcom. Uh-oh, we slept together, but we don't want anybody else to know, and it's like, I know this show can do some great things, and it's like, if it's going to subvert the trope in any way, cool. But then we get to the other stuff with the class, and oh my goodness. First of all, the very beginning of the episode called me out. Just, hey Michael, you're quiet back there. Do you want to pipe up in class? A little bit of a call-out post for me. I didn't really appreciate that. The beginning was fine. Tahani and Jason talking about their relationship stuff, and Michael and Eleanor trying to learn ethics from Chidi, and then it went from good to amazing when they decided, hey, you know what, because this is like an afterlife type scenario where we can do literally anything we want, let's actually do the trolley problem. Let's do it. Let's just do it right now. And then the music like went all crazy, and like you could tell like how nervous Chidi was about it, because like the music was like kind of, you know, a little bit crazy. It wasn't smooth like the rest of the Good Place music. Like the Good Place is like really, it's like heaven music. It's like soothing. It's like, yeah, this is what I expect to be played when it's super relaxing and I'm having a great time. And then it just kind of went to a little bit disconnected, and it was just really, really well done scene, and just it went all out, and they were like, oh, you know what, let's just splurt blood everywhere because, you know, we can do it. These aren't real people, so it's not real blood. And then they brought back Henry and the boots. I like had to pause. I was like, oh my goodness, yes, they brought him back. And his boots, they like highlighted his boots. It's like, yes, that would torture Chidi. He would feel bad about talking bad about his boots and not want to kill him, but instead kill 5 people. And then went to the doctors, and he was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna kill Eleanor because, you know, I took an oath. But now I have to explain that to their families, and that in itself is torture. And also, Eleanor calling Michael out on continuing to torture them. Like, what? This show continues to just go, hey, you know that thing you're thinking? Yeah, we're going to address that in the next episode, and that is not going to be the season finale twist thing that we're not going to do that. We're smarter than you, okay? We are smarter than you, and we have better episodes than you could dream of writing. So just sit down and don't even think about it and just watch. Also, Michael saying, this is why everybody hates moral philosophy professors. Yeah, it's a running gag of sorts. One thing that I noticed about this episode is he said that all French people go to the bad place. So it's like, in season 1 we addressed Florida people, Floridians go to the bad place, and this one it's French people go to the bad place. So does the bad place just collect all people from any place that starts with F? Is that what it is? Do they just take all those people? Or are you just doomed immediately and you just have to be like the best person ever to not be sent to hell for being born in a place that starts with F and just generally living there? What about kids who don't want to live there but their parents are there? This raises lots of questions. But then we still go back to Jason and Tahani, and it's kind of torture for both of them. Jason's talking about how he wishes that Tahani would tell him that he's pretty and just generally be happy and nice to him about the fact that, oh, we're together, this is fun and not torture for us. But for Tahani, it is kind of torture because she's not used to like being with someone that low on the status, and they're all still being tortured except for Eleanor in this episode. Basically, it seems as if everyone's being tortured except for one person every episode. But I don't know. The more I'm thinking about it, the more the Jason and Tahani stuff, like, I liked it more and more. It's like, that's the sign of a good show, where it's like, yeah, every single time I think about it, it just gets a little bit better. It's just so good and well written and amazing. 8 out of 13s. 8 out of 13s all around. Also, Chidi, like, lashing out on Michael, like, NBC, let Chidi say fork. So closer to the end when Eleanor brought up to Michael, like, you and I, we're similar, you and I, and it's like, oh, okay, because Eleanor was like the protagonist of season 1, and we were kind of following her journey, and then season 2, we're following Michael's journey, and he's the protagonist for this season, and we've seen a bunch of parallels from him, like him getting drunk at the party like Eleanor did, and, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna talk to everybody and basically blow our cover, except not really. Parallels are really cool, and I love parallels. Also, at the very end, when he was giving them all the thing that would make them happiest, like, just seeing them all so happy, it's like, I'm not used to this. It was so good. Can we like have extended that scene like a minute or two? Like in the extended cut of this episode, I just want to see them be happier a little bit more. Jason seeing the Pikachu balloon and screaming about Pikachu might have been one of the most purest things I have ever seen in my life. And then Eleanor just like hugging the shrimp machine and just like, yeah, this is the dream. And just Tahani just holding the diamonds like, yes, this is the diamond. This is what I want. This makes me happy. And it's like, oh my goodness. The bad place is slowly turning into the good place, which kind of follows my theory about the fact that everything going crazy because Eleanor is glitching out is that this might be turning into a good place, and this is like a crack theory, is that they have to be like an equal amount of good places and bad places, so this bad place becoming a good place is destroying an actual good place, and that might be the good place that our Janet is from, and so that one might be getting destroyed. Something about this will blow their cover though, like this will be the reason that their cover is blown, is because, this place is actually being destroyed and not because it's just part of, like, the test to, like, it's heaven, except one thing is wrong, and that thing is you, Eleanor, because this isn't season 1 anymore. But this also makes me think, I've been talking about parallels. Are they being not necessarily tortured, because I really don't like the this is Michael's bad place theory, but is this going according to Vicky's plan? Like, I don't know. We haven't seen Sean in a while, and that like kind of makes me think that he's a little bit smarter than Michael thinks, and that he kind of knows this is what's going on, and so he's altering it a bit to kind of be more traditional. Or is the bad place like editing itself to be a more traditional bad place because of Sean and Vicky and the gang trying to like win out? I don't know, but I'm incredibly, incredibly excited to see where this goes. I liked last week's episode a lot, and this one just kind of like, hey, you like that episode? Pfft, we got better episodes coming, and it makes me so excited for the future of this show. There has not been a bad episode yet, and I know me saying that is putting a lot of weight onto next week's episode, but I trust this entire team. I trust the actors, who did a phenomenal job this episode. I had to pause the episode multiple times because I was laughing too hard. Like, seeing the boots, seeing them all freak out about their gifts, I don't know, just the acting, once again, is top-notch. Props to the casting director. I really need to learn their name. I keep on saying props to them and not learning their name. They are the real MVP. Also, more MVPs, the writers. This episode was hilarious and very well written, and all the characters were just so good. I loved this episode. It was so good. This show is quickly becoming one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, and it already was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. It's just going up the high rankings. Like, it's in my top 3 shows of all time, and I know that's like kind of not a good thing to say because it's like, ooh, it's still airing. That's a little bit taboo, but like all 3 of my top shows are still airing because they still get me excited and happy every single time that there's news about it. It's like, oh, here's a new episode. It's just like, oh my goodness, I love these shows so much. The Good Place is phenomenal. The Trolley Problem was a great episode, and I can't wait till next week. It was a great episode. I love all the characters so much. Janet, is she glitching out because... Oh, another thing before I go. Is she glitching out because she's developing feelings? Like, I suddenly remember something from attempt number 1 where I fell in love with Jason and what's going on, but it's like, I kind of trust these writers not to do the girl falls in love with boy and just destroys everything because she can't live on her own. I know I said that recently, but like, I don't know. Is she going to develop feelings of some sort? Like, she's going to be really angry just about the fact that, everyone's just taking advantage of her? Like, that's her job, but like, I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this show. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. Please, if you haven't seen it, the first season's on Netflix, and episodes are being constantly added to Hulu after they air. The next morning, like before you even wake up, it'll be up. It goes up 4 a.m. Central Time. Central Time's where I live, so that's what I'm using. The Good Place is phenomenal. Please watch it. 8 out of 13. People equals good. I don't know about that, but if it helps Chidi teach,